All right, thank you for your patience, everybody. Time to get things going. Elimination matchup. Fluxo versus Bounty Hunters, starting things off on cash in this best of three. You lose this series, you are out.
That's everything down on the line. Bounty Hunter starting things off on the T side of cash. A decent amount of you to invest. It looking like an A hit. 2 smokes on the left-hand side, Catwalk and deeper CT. Molly potentially going in towards the quad, and Kaiser going to be responsible for the flashes. Zevi already levitating back in towards that A bomb side. They're starting to feel the pressure. Smoke wall coming in. Now they know.
In they go. Rapid execute. Fluxo, yet to see anyone, though the bullets are starting to fly across the smokes. This wall provides perfect cover, and Pepe finds the gap. Zevi down, but there is an answer back from Davideus. No kit. But all CT's nearby.
No U2 either.
And a numbers deficit that makes this one all too difficult. Ponta, backside, gets shot. Do you expect another one to be around? Stays quiet for quite a while, now reveals himself. Davideus is sharp though.
Gotta stick
Great shooting from him. And indeed, you must hold the defuse. Frack trying to interrupt Davideus getting a quad piece, and indeed the defuse coming just on time. Fluxo with a brilliant retake.
That's such a big play out of Davideus, by the way. It felt like such a dire situation. That was a 5 versus 3 post plant, right? They get the opening kill onto Kai, who was the one man stuck onto the bomb side, and then you had another one falling down in towards the catwalk. And we do have a technical timeout. Now, I wonder... All right, Kaiser's disconnected. That's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of these today. There's no biggie. We're still here. At least Exit is having a fun time. Smiling at the camera. Oh, yeah. Angles are important.
Yeah, gotta get his good side.
Ooh.
Fancy smoke tricks.
Uh.
I love that we have lobbing music now in the background. Oh, yeah, more camera angles.
Yeah. Zevi. What is going on, man? I'm starting to get dizzy. Zevi.
Okay.
Put us in one place, please. Stop doing that. Can we go back to the funny camera?
Actually, you know, if he took it with him to the toilet, maybe best not.
Why would you
take the camera? Because usually they use their phones, right?
Stay with me for a second. Yeah, but you can go to the toilet without your phone. No.
No, impossible.
No.
No.
Oh, come on.
So, back into the action. Short time up this time around. Fluxo with the lead, winning the pistol round, but it's not a bad buy coming in from Bounty Hunters. They did get a lot of picks. They did get the bomb down. For that reason, we've got 3 Galils, a MAC-10, and a Deagle represented from this T side.
Yeah, Lyric Smoke deployed. Provokes the reaction from LTZ. Gonna drop down. He's got the support of Davideus, who's already made his way in towards the van. This is going to be a dedicated play in towards that B-bomb side. All 5 Ts coming in from the same direction. Davideus' timing is quite key. Does anyone even consider the vent? Answer is yes, but he's still able to get one.
So are they going to react quickly by pushing onto the side? LTZ is being fairly quiet in terms of where he's holding. Finally appears, but Ponta's quickly dealt with them. A nice push into the site. Very organized and disciplined. With that, Fluxo have to drop back.
Yeah, that was a good exec, right? That's another proof to the point that we were making, I think, yesterday. The fact that the B-bomb side is very difficult to retake, very difficult to hold in general, right? Unless you've got 2 players on the bomb side being able to play crossfire. I mean, Davideus, if he's able to disengage after that first kill, maybe it's a different round, but it was a good refrag, nice spacing. Pepe and Ponta are able to get these entries onto the bomb side, and Fluxo forced to go for that save. Zevi. I think he had a made in Paris name tag on the knife.
What is a hidden meaning behind that?
Maybe just the Paris Major. Maybe he bought the knife with the money from the Paris Major. It's a nice little memory.
Maybe.
He was there with Pain.
Yeah, that's
obviously
probably
the last. Yeah,
that's probably it, to be fair.
Yeah, the last CSGO Major, obviously. Now, quite a while ago, 3 years. Too old yet?
Feels like yesterday that the switch happened from Go to CS2.
Yeah, I wonder if that's how people felt that were experiencing the 1.6 pro scene a little bit more when it went from 1.6 to obviously Source and then Go.
Possibly.
Were they that nostalgic for 1.6 in 2014, 2015 when CSGO was already around for a bunch of years? Maybe.
I mean, let's be fair. Global Offensive was not the same in 2014, 2015, and it was a few years later and a few years before.
Yeah, it wasn't as optimized. That's for sure. All right, so we're going from one bomb side to the other and then back to the A bomb side. This time, Fluxo have a pretty heavy lean here, though. You've got Zebian towards MBK, Kai towards the back of the bomb side, trying to take some of that attention away. Exit smoked off in towards the speedway, and Zebi gets mollied, double mollied. Can't do anything about it.
Cannot. You can hope that you win your trades, and Zok is on the winning end of his fight. Kai ends up falling fairly quickly. Bounty Hunter's closing in, and there's only one defender nearby. Got Davidale trying to close up the distance, but he's not there on time. Instead, Bounty Hunters fully under control, closing in corner by corner, meter by meter to win this round.
That's a lovely sequence out of Ponter, by the way. He was one of the people responsible for the opening kills in towards B a couple, well, the round prior, but he's able to get a triple this time around. Early destruction of the money of Fluxo. And Bounty Hunters looking right on their way to control the game. And this is probably the point that we're going to be making at the start of this game. If you're the Bounty Hunters, you want to take this 1 to 3 maps. Cash is a must win. Because Dust2 is not going to be easy against a team like Fluxo. This one, though, a lot more doable when it has been very Anubis-esque in terms of the approach. Gathering up 4 or 5 players, just executing a bomb site. Nice little boost on top of the double box. Doesn't see anything, though, the player on top. And that's going to be another straight up A exec. Mollies in towards Quad and MBK. Fork as well for Mollies, making sure that they leave no stone unturned. And for Fluxo, this is probably going to be a sign that they need to give this one away. Fully step back. I like the radio, CT spawn.
Yeah, it's eerie in a way as well.
It's a nice tune.
And cheerful. Those usually, funnily enough, come hand in hand. Nevertheless, great start for Bounty Hunters to get things going. After losing the pistol, 3 rounds consecutive after that, not too bad of an ordeal. This is their map pick after all. It is a good vibe, that tune.
Yeah, it's very relaxing. You know what this is? It's the type of music that you would hear when you walk into your grandma's apartment.
Really? This is like lobby music or elevator music for me.
Ah, yeah, you know what? You might be onto something. Shout
I
out
do
Steak.
hear what you're saying, though.
Yeah. Weekly drop, $35. Fast smokes out of Bounty Hunters in towards A. This time around, there's no substance to it. They're going to be going for the second wave play out of blue. Door still closed. Fluxo do have the numbers here.
They do. Very nice set up. Kai, oh, monstrous, but it's Zevi that ends up with a double kill. Make that a triple. Massive impact coming in from him. 11 points of health, so an HE getting close to him. Could be very impactful. But Freck now needs to focus in two different directions. Does he know that Elties is behind him? Doesn't even matter if that's the case. Zevi finds the sideline and Fluxo right back in winning ways.
Yeah, that's a great defense out of Fluxo all in all, right? They were ready for the second wave push. You can see a small smirk on the face of Exit there, staying pretty composed, but Zevi's able to navigate his way around. A proper exec, but this time it felt like they had a little bit more wiggle room. There wasn't a Molotov in towards the forklift, not a Molotov in towards quad. I think there was just one in towards MBK, and the majority of the attack coming out of single door. Choke point made it a little bit difficult to take the space, so Flux will get that second round on the board. Eyes onto the next. Failed nades. Zevi's still able to open things up, make it a double. Stuck in towards the sandbags, and he's just supposed to be the bait for the rifle, but he's done all the heavy lifting instead.
That's massive from Zevi. This is back-to-back rounds where he's had a tremendous amount of impact for his team. Once on the rifle, now on the AWP. He's joined the server and is feeling very much online.
Yeah, started it with a 4-piece in the round prior. And he's one of these players that can make a difference here for Fluxo. Bounty Hunters going back towards the B-bomb side. Davideus is leaving. He's repositioning in towards Heaven, I believe. LTZ has made a step. There goes the info. Nice nade.
Ooh, nice nades, plural. Right. Spots out LTZ, somehow surviving. 18 points of health, but Davideus is nearby now, and he's escaped through the cracks. LTZ's taken down. Headshot position for Davideus, but he holds true to his name and ends up falling with a dink to the face. Right, 24. Ties at 27. Barely making out 50 HP together. Fluxo very patient with this as well. Bomb
looked over. Yeah, they cannot plant the bomb, though. There's another incendiary coming in. They've heard a tap. Molly comes in towards default. Freck is going to get Molly out of position. Actually, doesn't spread around.
Yeah, this seems like it's going to end pretty swiftly. No simple moment recreation, but there is a drop that permits the win here for Fluxo. And again, the contributions from Zevi made this a lot easier for Fluxo.
It's still scary how competitive the round becomes when Zevi just opens things up with a swift double kill in towards middle like that. It's obviously great job by the Oper, but they're still able to get a bomb plant, get onto the B-bomb side, make it somewhat dangerous. Fluxo starting to get a little bit more comfortable, and obviously it's been a long day for all of us, but this is just the start for these guys, so it is important to see what type of an opening to the game they will be having. Bounty Hunters already experiencing some minor difficulties on the D side, but it's of course too early to get worried.
Yeah, don't get overexcited.
Double op setup. LTZ's go one in towards B. That's interesting. There's the opener. Now they know.
Works nicely for LTZ.
Yeah, but that makes it so much worse. Because now they know Zevi's probably residing in towards the A-bomb side, right? So you need to be a lot more careful with how you're clearing a lot of these angles. You can't really peek on contact. Good thing they've got a decent amount of Uto. They can still muster up a pretty decent exec in towards that A-bomb side. One player stuck in towards middle. It's going to be Pepe in towards the warehouse. Bomb slowly pivoting back in towards A. And look at that info play out of Davideus. He's cleared out the entirety of Sunroom.
Like so. This tournament for them is a little bit more about developing chemistry within the team. Why not get some good wins while you're at it?
25.
Not much time remaining. Fluxo are nicely set up on the CT side. Thing is, it's a bit too difficult for Zevi to navigate. A lot of utility thrown at him to try and keep him at bay, and indeed falling into the hands of Pepe. He goes. Kai, spray transfer. It's a pub, cleans up the house. Pair it up with the efforts of his teammates on the site. It's clean as it comes for Fluxo.
It's actually so massive that Exit is able to get the first kill and then Zevi follows up with another one, right? It just sets him up so well because it takes all the attention away from Kai, and they know he's the A anchor, but it still makes them a little bit discombobulated, a bit confused onto what was going on. First time they try and they can't get onto the bomb side, get the bomb planted, so money's going to be a little bit lower for Bounty Hunters heading into round number 8. A bunch of hero rifles, some pistols, a little bit of util going back towards the B bomb side. Double up still in play. Dangerous angle from Davideus.
Yeah, it's high risk as well. Don't really need to afford right now, but he can see the play happening in front of him, unfolding. The flash from LTZ is nice, but it's just the one pick, even though they look like there was potential for much more. The two AWPs are here. And if you're Bounty Hunters, you are shaking where you stand, because you know there's no way you're crossing forwards onto the bomb.
Yeah, perfect nade coming out of Zevi, opening up the smoke, allowing LTZ to get the opening kill. Zevi shuts down the second. Flash is nice out of Kaiser, though. Bomb still dropped in towards Checkers, and LTZ's got the cross. They're out of util. They need to try and bait out that AWP shot. And even then, you've got Kai in towards the vent, ready to pounce.
How do you even do that? Kai forced off.
Yeah, he showed himself. A little bit of a dangerous position. Kaiser's going to try and hunt him down. Kai, a lucky man to be alive. Pulled his knife out. At least now you've got the information that you need.
Doable. But now if you're Fluxo, need to be worried about your back line, a potential Z-cross. They can move forward, trying to bait out that AWP shop, indeed. Waiting for Kaiser to join in. It's all the timing game. Oh, dear.
Oh, he's crossed. They've got no clue.
Looking, oh, they've let him by. No one's got a clue. This is massive. Bounty Hunters could flip this round on its head. Surely not. 10 seconds. Surprise. 2 picks. Now it's all down to exit.
No time.
Can they let them cross? Spray down. It's found it. The bomb can't get onto the site on time. Therefore, round is won. But boy, did that get too close for comfort.
Whew. I was just going to say, by the way, Exit was so convinced that there was no one coming in from behind. He was just checking his own back, but he wasn't really watching for the cross, right? And they were unaware of the timing being a possibility. I guess it was just the fact that the time was running so low that they didn't think they'd be putting so much trust into someone coming in late on the flank and getting a multi-kill like this. Guys are getting a big flank in play, a massive timing, but couldn't get the round. Simply had not enough time. And there goes the first tactical timeout for the Bounty Hunters. Fluxo getting 5 now on that CT side, starting to slowly run away with a pretty decent lead. And again, no bomb plant, meaning you're not getting the maximum amount of cash, but at least that was just a half buy, right? So the damage is good. You get 4 kills, you keep the CT side economy honest, and now you've got the guns back up. We've not seen too much mid-action coming out of the T side. They tried it once, they got completely shut down by Zevi. Other than that, it's just been bomb site hits.
That's true. And now you're in a tough spot. Lose another round here, Bounty Hunters, and Fluxo putting you in danger. Economical recession coming in soon. Nice they can make of something. We're already seeing a bit of the style from Bounty Hunters, how they like setting up around the map, how they like setting the pace, the tone. A few push and pulls here or there, figuring out what their setup looks like before they take a decision on the push.
Oh, a bit of a weird timing with the flash. CT's wanted to force the issue. T-side flash comes in handy. Zog. Does he clear Davideus? Answer is yes, but he's still able to get 1 kill, the Chilean. They've switched the approach completely. A lot slower now on the T-side play. Zog trying to take that space in towards the speedway. Gotta be careful with the op on the other side. Zevi dodges the flash, gets the info, starts moving forward. I'm loving that from Zevi.
And Zevi ends up getting the pick as well. Thing is, B site's being taken over, but it's a slow attempt. Therefore, LTZ plenty of time to get there. Molly to get LTZ out of contention, but now you need to take care of that CT angle, which is held by Exit. And he's resilient, strong in his footing, and that spray will end up providing the double to close out the round. Fluxo putting Bounty Hunters down to square zero.
Yeah, it's starting to look like a very comfortable CT side slowly but surely, right? It was a bit slower with dropping the pistol and some of the conversions, winning the pistol, but dropping the second round and then finding themselves 1-3 down. But Fluxo have started looking very sharp. Ever since that massive 4-piece round out of Zevi, it feels like Davideus has woken up. Everyone's charming in with kills, important ones as well. Back to the bomb site hits, double main, triple door. A-play coming out. Is going to be a bit of a replica of the pistol round, but with a couple more flashes in hand. Kai gonna get tested once again alongside Exit.
Bounty Hunter's looking to go for an explosive play here. Smokes to provide him space. Zevi caught, having focus on two different angles. But the fight is still on. Maybe pace is the answer for Bounty Hunters. Maybe speed is what they need. They took over the site. This should be over.
Yeah, quad molly in play. That's going to force one player out of position. Doesn't get spotted from the cap. Whoa, Frank is still here. AK unable to finish the job. And now it's just LTZ. A 1 versus 3, and he's been seen. There's no way he isolates the fight. Spray transfer doesn't work. Ponter gets the refract. It's the half buy that leads to the round converted for the Bounty Hunters.
How about that? And you started to talk about how Fluxo were having a convincing CT side, but all it takes is just another eco to destabilize. A timeout forced out straight away, trying to enter the tank.
Yeah, they're running out of money. That's the issue. They've been winning consecutive rounds, but losing some players in the process. They still have enough to get everyone on the rifles in this one. Exit might take a little bit of a hit and play a FAMAS or an MP9 in order to get that bonus Uto. But you're going to have that AWP out for Zevi, rifles for basically everybody else, maybe bar Exit again, but Fluxo still have an opportunity to get 8 rounds out of this first half, and they know it.
I'll tell you what's been impressive though, Ted. Bounty Hunters on their A executes. They've been pretty clean with them. Sure, there was one time that it didn't quite work out, but I think most of the success has come off of them just making it simple, whether that's an A split or just a full force A rush paired up with their smoke setups. That's where they've been able to win most, and it looks like they may try and replicate that again.
Yeah, the second timing play didn't work out, right? Every single play that was throw the smokes, throw the U2, get onto the bomb side has worked out pretty nicely, and they've been doing a very good job just navigating their way through the smokes, literally appearing out of thin air onto the bomb side, creating those pathways.
Smoke starting to be thrown. It's looking like an A hit once again. You want to get overzealous. Zevi has been spotted nearby. They need to be cautious around him now.
Failed molly for forward.
Oh dear. And it allows Zevi to step up in a very comfortable position. He's got reinforcements with Exit around, but overstays his welcome, and Freck opens the round out wide.
1v2 needed, big nades on top. Even mollied out, flames don't really spread. So Freck has got an opportunity, but won't be able to get the first one. So no real opportunity in that 1v2 clutch. Defuse is going to come through. You don't want to pull the trigger.
Probably not. This time they find the solution, but I think you're right, Ted. Sure, Zevi's able to have impact near Squeaky, but missing a molly has messed up the approach for Bounty Hunters. The timings, where you're supposed to be looking at. The CTs felt very comfortable to hold their lines.
Yeah, I feel like very quickly Bounty Hunters might have run out of ideas on that T side. Now trying to force the issue, bringing a little bit more speed in towards mid. Smoke deployed. Are they going to be ready for the double in towards sandbags, though? That's the big question.
So many flames thrown in so early in the round. trying to move forwards. Kai, so damn quick. That's crazy. And Zevi's just a constant. The old reliable. Answers back from bounty hunters, but it's not without them losing a lot of their life in the process. B is the target. But Fluxo in the know. And in transition, Kai, he's not waiting for a team. He's trying to find an off angle. And it's worked. A pick, extra damage. Both Kaiser and Freck are one shot from death. An instant headshot was required by Freck. Instead, it's found by Exit, and an 8-4 half falls into the hands of Fluxo. And we are back for the second half of this matchup on Cash. Fluxo and Bounty Hunters facing up against each other in the elimination bracket. Fluxo having a decent start as the CT side, but now let's see what their chops look like as the aggressors.
Zevi lining up a smoke already. There's a bit of a gap in the T side lines here. I'm not sure if Zevi realizes this is even a possibility.
Okay, this is massive.
Zeuto lined up, free kill. Do they realize there's so many players in towards single door, though? They might get baited out by Davideus' kill.
Hunter, though, well positioned, and the rotates are starting to come through. A lot of bunny hops, no picks. Instead, Fluxo take over. They've turned it all around, even though a couple of their teammates get caught on the other side of the map. Having most alive now is the status quo. No flashes, no kits. Just try peeking required from Pepe and Zoc, respectively.
Have a kit now.
Fluxo toying with them a little bit. And they just pull the trigger to play aggressively in tandem. Fluxo with an important pistol to escalate the endeavor.
Yeah, that was a big steal out of Fluxo. They lose both their players towards other parts of the map. Zevi was the one that had to deploy the smoke for the cross, flash them out. Davideus goes down, not before getting a kill, of course. But a couple very crisp shots out of these three door players. Bounty Hunters going for the last resort force buy. It's already running out of control, this map for them. And that is their map pick going into the series, right? And this is elimination on the line. So catch is quite important, and they've really been given a very tough go. So far, force buy in. Frank already dropped. Ponter still trying to find a favorable fight alongside the smokes, but they're just getting dropped one after the other. This is so convincing out of Fluxo.
This was supposed to be a bit of a surprise setup here from Bounty Hunters. They were supposed to be stacked up with three, trying to perhaps surprise inside a smoke and an off angle, get a pick here or there. Nothing of the sort has happened. It's been completely one-sided. Fluxo walk in as if the space was theirs to begin with.
Yeah, and they tried to push in towards Sunroom and Useless from the B-bomb side, but Davideus just drops both these players at the start, right? So that's a big shutdown to start the round with, and Davideus will make it a triple. It's a nice little hat trick out of him. 10 rounds, force buy put to bed. Fluxo probably gonna find themselves 11-4 up on their opponent's map pick, meaning Bounty Hunters get one decent purchase on that CT side to try and show some teeth on that CT side, get into the swing of things. That's unless they eco this one.
I'll show you what else
and convert it.
Teeth. Log up PCs and a lot of the other offerings. Head over to the website, banner below as well. Thank them for supporting this tournament. And it's 2 perfectly 50 HP nades to handle Freck. And that's the B site opened. So it's a little bit smoother than actually anticipated. Zevi goes in. He's feeling confident. Zevi is down to 2 points of health, actually, so barely holding on. Importance placed on keeping the hand cannons within the hands of bounty hunters.
Yeah, that's looked very clean. When you think about it, that was a 3-1 lead for the bounty hunters at the start of this, right? And Fluxo have just dominated ever since. Especially with Dust2 coming up right after this. It's not really looking good for the chances of BH. That's probably when you start thinking about yesterday's game as well, the one against LP. They could have won that easily. Had a very good lead on the third map as well. They were in winning position on the second after getting a swift win on map 1. So now you're starting to feel the consequences of your own misactions yesterday. And you've got one of the top dogs in this entire qualifier in Fluxo in the lower bracket straight away.
That's why we were talking about the lower bracket being so gruesome, right? Being so dangerous. If you have MIBI and Fluxo playing it out in the very first round, one of them will end up in the lower bracket and likely be the Green and Reaper of the lot. And
it's
Fluxo,
the same with BESTIA and Imperial as well, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Exact same concept.
And now it kind of feels like you're out of your league. 1 T-side round is all they need, and it's another triple in towards door. There goes the smoke out of Zevi. That one's going in towards the speedway. There's the flash. Pepe, good for 2. Trying to hold on for a third, and the defense might be able to stand tall. Kaiser chimes in with another one onto the AWP, and this is looking much more like it now out of Bounty Hunters.
Individualness needs to come through from the Fluxo players. Some star moments to get them back into this. Otherwise, this should be Bounty Hunters around for the taking. Yeah, no such craziness will happen. LTZ getting only 1 through the process. Just a couple of casualties for Bounty Hunters, and they've introduced themselves to the CT score sheet.
Yeah, that's the only issue with having 3 players swinging out of door. I know a lot of teams are doing it nowadays because they're trying to isolate the single player in towards the A-bomb side, make it difficult for him to get a multi-kill. But if you don't put enough pressure on middle and take the attention away in towards B as well, then you're risking having 1 player on top of the railing just staring at the door or in towards forklift, and then it's very difficult to make your way out when you've got the second guy towards the backside. Like so, with the mandatory lurk smoke on B. Z smoked off as well, but Pepe's not really getting contested in towards middle. And I kind of like that chapter in Davideus, not being the most aggressive rifler on the team. Being a bit more of a lurk element. Being allowed to work in the clutch, the mid to late rounds. It's a nice nade, LTZ. Not really looking at the vent right now. He will get punished for it. Zoc with the kill. Bomb still pivoting around in towards A main. The Vides has made his way in towards the vent. I'm not really sure if he's going to be able to get anything out of it, but at least you've been able to drag 3 players in towards the B bomb side here for the Bounty Hunters.
Big nade onto Pepe. Fluxo are not being silent about their A take, but at the same time, if you're Bounty Hunters, this is so obvious that you think this is probably a fake. surely they're not so out front with their approach, but they are. And they're slowly closing in. Bounty Hunters can't believe it. Now it's starting to rotate, but David Dales has already split the map in two.
Might have to call this one off. Such a weird play to predict from the Bounty Hunters, right? They run that three-man B stack, and then the presence starts being shown in towards A. David Dales. Oh, what a shot onto Frek.
Huge. And if you take Kaiser out of the situation, next round looks very bleak for the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, this might be curtains. Could be the end of the map. Kaiser all alone, spotted out. David Dales. Patience gets rewarded. It's another multi-kill out of him. 17 frags deep, 12-5 Fluxo. 1 round away from taking that cash. Moving one step closer to surviving, sending Bounty Hunters home. Get some of these shots. And Kai's had a very good performance, by the way. I know he's been getting a lot of slack over the last couple of years, especially with that early Furia promotion and how badly that went for him, but he's looked very good since the start of this tournament.
Not be much left of this one for Bounty Hunters, though. Unless something is done unlikely in this map. There's 7 opportunities are handed over to Fluxo now to close this one. We're now setting our gaze over to Dust2. Every little bit matters, and having numbers advantage from the very beginning is not too bad.
It's a good double push. Nice boost, getting the elevated angle. Getting that free opener. David Dales and Frek have seen each other. Repeat comes in, Famous comes out on top. He's still alone on B though. They've got everyone on A. They're just trying to hard gamble this one. I mean, Zok is stuck in towards middle. You've got 3 players on A. Kaiser's starting to feel the pressure in towards being rotating away to try and support his teammate, but he's just bringing in a UMP with no utility.
Frek trying to stay silent. Be the element of surprise, and it works out. Key goes down instantly. Kai actually, and it's Zevi now having to hold on to the big green. Unable to do so, given Zok has already started his journey in the back line. Bounty Hunter sticking around for a little while longer.
It's a very sick play out of the Famas, by the way. That's another proof that in the right hands, it could still be a good gun. Instant headshots coming out, not letting the Galorys and AKs fire bullets, and Fluxo going for a tactical timeout. That's their second. They want to close things out before Bounty Hunters feel like they can potentially give it a go at a comeback. I believe Fluxo should have enough money still to go for a reinvestment, and pretty easily as well, but you drop this one, Bounty Hunters get up to 7, and from that point on, you're just a couple of buy rounds away from potentially leveling things up. Actually, let me take that back. Fluxo were strapped for cash. That's a bit surprising. Not even going to get Zevi on a hero AK, meaning he's probably saving up for that OP in the next round. What's the plan here? Where's the set piece going to? B seems to be the answer. It might be a rather quick round out of Fluxo.
Frag forced off. And Fluxo indeed trying to go for an explosive entry. David Dale's being caught. Do you call this off? You've lost your rifle. And no chance of ever retrieving anything of the likes. A bit of a mishap here for Exit, having to shoot his own teammate to get a pick by the end. And now just the build-up to the next. When do you start to believe for Bounty Hunters in Cash, Ted? What's the number?
One more buy round. I think
One
it's
more
12-7 now. If they win this one, becomes 12-8, and then if they don't let them get a bomb plant, Fluxo are going to be down to the pistols again. So I feel like this is the one, right?
Okay.
Fluxo is still in a very comfortable position, but they lose this round, and it suddenly becomes a very real possibility that Bounty Hunters bring this one back.
What's Evie having his trusty AWP? Not unlimited utility on the T side. Everyone with their fair share. Aggression shown from Bounty Hunters, wanting to take space early out of B, but it's just a push and pull. Information gained, and now can reset.
Ooh. Nice opener. LTZ. Shutting Ponter down. Where do you want to go with this? Davideus with one lurk smoke actually denied them getting any information in towards Sunroom. So now the CTs are forced to go for a bit of a gamble, maybe regress middle, but again, they've been blocked in towards Z. This is very awful for the CT side. They've been trying to get active information around the map, but they're just getting denied by utility or kills.
The majority of this pack is still sticking around on this B area. Fluxo yet to pull the trigger on the decision. Sure, we're seeing the bottom maneuver towards the middle of the map, but...
I feel like with Kai's position in towards single door, this is just going to be an A play inevitably.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, they've changed their
rough.
minds. What happened?
Did they hear anything? Did something spook them? Or is this just a 50-50 gamble?
It looks like it's a bit of a gamble. They've not seen anything or heard anything. The AWP of Kaiser is going to confirm that nothing's going on. They're just walking into a stack, and look at the boost for Frag.
Big Molly, though. Zoc having to throw in a smoke is revealed where he lies, but yeah, the boost on Freck here could prove to be difficult. Great HE is going to soften up a lot of these attackers. Davideus, though, able to find the first pick, and so will the rest of the squad. Some very accurate shots found by the end, and put an end to the nuisance. 13 locked in to the 7 of Bounty Hunters, and Fluxo take home their opponent's map pick straight away.
Yeah, that was a very good start to the series for Fluxo. I mean, a map that didn't start as well in the first 3 or 4 rounds, but it felt very comfortable, right? It didn't really feel like there was too much of a fight going on. Fluxo were in control.
Agreed, and it was definitely Fluxo showing us that they are in control, and they'll have to show us otherwise for us to believe differently. And yeah, it's going to be a hard one, however you put it, for Bounty Hunters. And you can't help but feel that they missed up on a chance yesterday playing up against LP. Right, they were having a very solid start. The first map went their way, a very easy nuke. Then things started to unfold against them. They had leads that they kept on dropping, and that caused them to get to that lower bracket sooner rather than later. And now facing up against Fluxo, far from ideal. Dust2 underway, folks, and it's Fluxo starting things off as the aggressors. T-side is for them, heading on that left side of the map.
Bebop coming up. Xbox smoke deployed. Davides is lining up a mid to B smoke, so that might not actually be a straight up play in towards B. Now they've spotted the first player pushing in. Pepe gets the kill onto Kai, but Zevi with a quick response. Bomb still dropped in towards the tunnel, so that's a little bit of a tricky one.
That's very tough.
Yeah, they can't cross to collect it. Davides has not realized that a lot of people are looking at him. He needs to wait for his teammates.
That's why pressure is exerted out from mid, knowing that you can't really rely on Thomas to get the push onto 3 different players. You find the one, you spot the one at the backside. LTZ, that's massive, and you're all by yourself. Pepe's already done quite a bit to make sure this one is a close affair, and he has full time to reload both. Draw Baratta's Ponta getting quickly onto the site does not allow his opponent to breathe. A close round 1 to get Dust2 going.
Yeah, that was a very big triple kill out of Pepe. I was very surprised by the way that LTZ was able to still make it a competitive affair, right? The bomb gets dropped, flash in Pepe's face, and LTZ even had enough time to hit the reload. Ponter needed that instant headshot, and he was able to get it. He didn't even have armor, by the way. He was the one with the util, so if you don't get the instant headshot, the dualies connect onto a shot, then aim punch is going to be of the essence.
So a good start for Bounty Hunters to get things rolling on Dust2. A reminder as well for anybody that didn't quite tune in on it, Cash. The start looks strong there as well. It's all about closing games. That has been the struggle for bounty hunters.
They've been given a lot of space.
And maybe they can utilize that space. It's not much utility to maintain pressure. At least the bomb can go down, and that looks like it was the primary objective either way. No picks, but a C4 plant must suffice.
Yeah, that's good enough. They didn't buy a single nade, just a couple of upgraded pistols. I think it was just a 1 Deagle and 4 Glocks, so getting the bomb planted is going to give you that nice little cash injection to start your campaign on the T side. And for Ponter, it's a good way to farm a couple of eco kills, get a little bit of confidence up. Bounty Hunters is a long way back, but as we said, this is elimination on the line, and for them, it's basically best of ones from here on out, right? They drop one map, they're out of the tournament. They need to win back-to-back Dust2 and Nuke if they want to stay alive. Send Fluxo packing. That would definitely be a bit of a shocking result. What's the code here, though? No presence in towards middle to start us off for the CT side. Focused on getting that control win towards long and making sure there's not going to be any quick shenanigans in towards the B-bomb side. I'm not really sure if Pepe got spotted. Seen the nade. The smoke for the bait. Do they clear him out?
Kai does indeed connect with the head. There was an early warning system due to the shadow from that angle, but still Fluxo getting first blood.
It's a good heads-up play out of Kai, because he saw the nade and he knew that he was missing vision for a little while, and then the smoke comes in. Might have thought this is almost too inviting for me to take that control. Ezra's gonna stick around, needs to be careful about the flashes. Jiggle's tricky and risky.
Smoke to delay the push. At least that's what Kaiser is hoping for. LTZ on anti-rotation duty. The Fluxo push has halted.
It's a good position for LTZ.
There's a second player in tons, and it's not accounted for. Good fight back, and the HE break onto the smoke provides another Kaiser opportunity for a pick. Now Zevi and Exit have to do some heavy lifting. 20 seconds on the clock. Sure, you've got the bomb cross on site, but as soon as Zevi's teammate starts trying to plant, you'll have to deal with a lot of players around. Ponta taking Exit out of the equation. 13 seconds and 3 to handle. Running out of bullets, getting run down. A massive overturn here from Bounty Hunters.
That was a little bit weird, by the way. You get the opening kill in towards A, you get another one, so that was essentially a 5 versus 3. Then it felt like they were just rushing into the bomb side a little bit too much. You've got a 5v3, a smoke coming in, one player tries to jump over, fully blinded before the smoke opens up. Then Kai gets his knife out and is also just jumping. It just didn't really feel like they were ready for any type of a reaction out of the CT side. These are the things that we mean by Fluxo taking their foot off the pedal. It's underestimating some of these situations, not realizing that you could still get punished. Of course, there's plenty of time for them to repel for their sins, so to speak. Failed molly. Doesn't really stop the T's from making their way up, and this could be a bit of a tricky round, by the way.
Sure.
They have a decent amount of util for that pop.
Kaiser, legging is enough, provided the low HP bars. Sure, there's a flood smoke available. Emits some sort of a cross, but again, not all too comfortable to gain access to the site. You're looking for a pick, but Kaiser is allowed to roam freely. Digits punched. 20 picks can Fluxo get. Zevi, beautiful 1D. But the flash is a slight issue. Yeah, fairly clean from Bounty Hunters as they close up the gap. A 4? Oh, not too shabby. Getting things rolling in the right direction.
Ponter is 9-0, I've just realized. Kaiser 6-1. Zoc's on 0 kills, but he's just not seeing people. He just got insta-headshot once, and that's about it. It's not looking bad individually, and even the stake odds slightly in favor of bounty hunters, actually. Another reminder for the weekly bonus of $35 that you can take advantage of if you click the banner below the stream. Fluxo back to the guns, picking up the pace. Out of long, Davideus goes. Not really contested as of right now. Needs to be careful about that mid reaction. A quick boost for LTZ, but eyes on middle. You've got Zoc in a very committed position. Might be looking to get inside of lowers. They're trying to reply to losing long control here to CTs, right? Does Zoc hard clear the angle on top of the box though?
He does. Yes. Exit gets palavered. And how do you respond back? There's a deep play coming out from bounty hunters as well in mid. It's very disruptive. Doesn't allow Fluxo to roam freely across the map. They'll have to reclaim a lot of space back for themselves. And that's what they're trying to do now in mid.
Well, they're just walking out. This is such a ballsy play. They've used no flashes, no utility. They've taken so much space. The CTs might not be ready for this.
Ooh, missed timing. Missed opportunity, 40 seconds. Now the call has to be made to start pursuing a site. Or this is going to get quite uncomfortable. They let Ponta slide, but turn around and react nicely to it. Zevi also getting a pick. But you've now run out of utility, get access onto the site, and Pepe's using this space as his own. Nothing else can be done on other angles. Zevi only good for the one by the end. Double kill altogether, but Bounty Hunter's fully under control.
What a sequence out of Pepe, by the way. I was just looking at him tapping heads down, and it took me back to 2019. People like Ethan Breezy were doing stuff like that on Dust2 back then. I don't know why that's the association, by the way. It's just the highlight that spawned into my brain.
Fair.
2019
Fair.
EG.
No judgment.
When EG was still decent. We were very good back then. Believe it or not.
EG and decent don't really go together anymore.
I mean, it hasn't been the case for such a long time, but some people might not know. 7 years ago, Evo Geniuses was actually a team that was considered a legitimate contender for a major trophy, and
yeah,
at a certain point they were top one. That was, of course, at the start of the online era, but they were top one on HOTV for a little while. They were one of the most dangerous teams out there. That was during the Astralis era. Yeah, that was before Ethan decided to go to the V game. But we don't talk about this.
So, Fluxo in danger of falling further behind, but do have a shaky buy, a half buy to fuel their efforts in round number 6. Fluxo pointing towards the A site as their target. Kaiser's been such a dangerous threat. 7-1 in terms of the score. I believe that's Pepe near him to help. Yeah, it is. And he'll just posture himself into the middle of the site. Wanted to delay. What's the reaction from it as smoke is thrown, but it's going to separate the players. They're running right past it. HE also lands. Fluxo quite low on health, but yet again, not sure when they should be crossing, and it allows Kaiser to just pick his choice. Pepe closes in, and it feels like Fluxo are running in like headless chickens, but these headless chickens have guns. They're capable of some damage, but only some damage, some being the key word.
Bounty Hunters suddenly started looking a lot sharper, right? And it's not just one guy. It's not just Ponter. It's Kaiser as well. It's Pepe. A lot of headshots are coming in. Usually, these are uncomfortable fights. When you're in CT spawn, you're stuck looking at catwalk and there's heads popping and shooting back at you. You're in a big disadvantage, but they're just making these fights look very flawless, very easy. And it does feel like it comes down to the individual fights. Fluxo just not looking as sharp as they did on the previous map. Struggling to get going. Struggling to find an entry into Dust2. Exit. Good opener. Hunter punished. That might be the start. Able to get one more. Pepe down. Kaiser fighting back. They're still holding on to the aggressive setup though. Zoc is still here. Unaccounted for. Gets one. Make it a double. And they've turned this one around again. But it's Davideus to find a bit of an opener. Issue is bomb is still dropped in towards T-spawn. And Davideus might have to find another kill. And he's done it.
Finally to break the silence. Fluxo.
That's a bit of a puggy round. It's a bit of a face-it deathmatch. Free for all.
I don't think Fluxo mind, though. They needed anything they could get, because it's been quite the silence on Dust2 for them. Round's not done, though. Armory now collected. Heading towards B. Now, if Kaiser ends up in tunnels, there is a moment in which he could interrupt, but no, chooses against that. Walks up mid.
This is terrifying, by the way. As you pointed out, if Kaiser wasn't lower, he's got a 1v1 for the round. Davideus is overextending slightly, looking for a little bit too much. At least Kai's got the information now. Tap on the bomb. He wants to get the kill. Wants to go for the peek. Doesn't see him. Now needs to stick the landing. Kaiser. He was thinking, because of Davideus actually making a move, he wasn't sure if it was going to be the B play, but now he knows.
Kaiser, what a play with this B. Already having a standout performance. And not only would this kill give him 2 KD in the game. Well, it won't. So let's not toy around with that thought anymore. Fluxo to break their silence and rip through the score sheet on the T side for the first time.
That was a little bit tricky. I feel like it was maybe the fact that Kai and Davideus were a bit nervous because they didn't know where Kaiser was coming from, so Davideus wanted to take as much space as possible. He does leave Kai in a pretty winnable 1v1, and he ends up out on top, but in a 2v1 like this, you probably want to have your two teammates just sticking next to one another. But there goes the first. Was a little bit delayed, but Fluxo were still able to get around on the board. Kaiser aggressive with that AWP in towards short, and Davideus is again just walking out B looking for a fight.
Oof. And he's able to snap right onto Freck. The commitment to the B site is a little bit labored though, given that the bomb is all the way down mid. Gonna have some time before the Tons cross comes through. Indeed, it's got to be a save, but they haven't seen a bomb go down yet, so not full removal of the position. Once they do hear it, though, they're going to have to drop back.
Yeah. You have no one in towards middle, no one on the left-hand side, so the moment that Freck goes down, round is basically done. It's just one kill out of Davideus. And it's these individual peaks that we were talking about. These could make the difference for Fluxo. So that was one of the big difference makers on Cash as well. Davideus finding all that solo impact in towards the B bomb side. Lurking around, doing the same here on B. And another slow start for Fluxo that they're slowly starting to salvage. It's going to be difficult to get a full reset onto the CT side economy, though. They've been saving quite a decent amount, and they did win 6 rounds in a row, so they've got money for days. Especially with people surviving.
So, chaining 2 together, Fluxo properly introducing themselves to the game now. Thing is, Bounty Hunters had such a great lead, and a lot of it without too much disruption. And they themselves built up a decent economy. So even if they lose 3 consecutive, they won't have an issue.
Look at the pace.
It's very fast, very quick. These flashes, though, cause a lot of confusion, and somehow it's Davideos that come out on top. Who knows how that's transpired? But Kai doesn't slow down, wants to take this a step further. One more player around, and they've got the information. Zevi's not slowing down at all. 80 HP lost because of the molly. And Frex takes full advantage, chipping away at the rest of the players, picking up Davideos out of existence. This is chaotic.
They know where he is, in the middle of nowhere. It's such an uncomfortable fight, though, low on HP. Freck hits another one. They just can't seem to get the kill. They get a little bit too lost in the sauce. And Kaiser's already got this one under a lock and key. There's no way he's going to miss a shot like that. Exit just walking into him. Kaiser puts this round to bed, but it's Freck going absolutely nuclear on long, isolating 1v1 after 1v1 after 1v1, even with the opening kills out of Fluxo. And that's the second 5 versus 3 that they couldn't convert. Zevi far ahead of everybody else.
I mean, let's not shy away from giving credit to Freck being able to isolate the plays like that, right? One by one, he was able to catch them out of the server, but it was also Fluxo throwing themselves at him one by one. Indeed, lost in the source may be a right way to describe it.
Ooh. Nice kill. Now you know they're running the double op setup because you got Zoc on it. Kaiser not spotted. Exit still. Towards the back of blue. Flashes come through. He does get spotted. Decides to actually go back with another flash instead of smoking himself. Wanted to try and look for the element of surprise. Doesn't quite work out, but at least now they know they've got a little bit of space to take in towards middle. B has to be the desired destination. LTZ. Oh, looking at the smoke. Big shot out of the open though. Kaiser with a bit of a blunder.
LTZ plays the timing on that smoke pulling very nicely, but Bounty Hunters have got a lot of players around. Freck spraying away superbly. LTZ 2 picks to his name, but he needs 2 more to get the clutch win. Knows the approximate direction of both. The CTs have set themselves up nicely. Crossfire setup galore. Dry peek required. You need timing to work out for you. Nice connection for the headshot, but Pepe is there. And no matter how close these rounds are, it doesn't matter because Bounty Hunters keep on collecting them.
It felt like they didn't want to sacrifice exit there, right? You get the opening in towards B, then long gets re-cleared. You need to scout here, right? The moment that exit dies, they needed to act a little bit quicker. It felt like they took a little bit too long in towards the tunnels to get activated. LTZ doing a lot of work in towards middle, but to no avail. Fluxo on the ropes. And yeah, Staker definitely going to be favoring Bounty Hunters for this map now with their odds. $35 bonus. With the banner below the stream, Fluxo letting this one slip slowly but surely. Potentially heading into a third map. That's what it looks like.
This is not the Fluxo we saw in the first map, right? This is a shaky Fluxo that's trying to get their bearings together.
Yeah, definitely is.
Doesn't feel like there's one voice and one idea on how they're approaching things.
I feel like here they just got a little bit too greedy. I mean, you've got exit alone out towards blue. You get an opening in towards B. Just leave him alone, right? It would have been nice if you flash him in and he gets a kill, but he's got a smoke. He can buy time. Could have just cut your losses. Let him try and just be a distraction and scale up the B bomb side. Obviously, it's a lot easier to say it in hindsight, but they are really doubting some of their decisions. It's not as decisive from Fluxo. They've been getting punished for it. Zoc, good for 1. Refrac is there. Buddy system implemented in towards middle, and now they'll try and take that gap in towards B. They should know that there's a solo defender.
Zevi takes down his own teammate and ends up falling right after.
Kai gets the refrac. They still have the B bomb side.
Actually sticking around in mid. But Kai needs to win a 1v2 here. And Pepe and Kaiser have had superb games so far.
They need to wait for the smoke to fade away, right? It doesn't have a lot of time left to it, but if they risk to play through the smoke, that might allow Kai to isolate the fights. He's going to be forced to look for a safer avenue. Hiding towards the back of the car. Element of surprise is his only friend.
Flash out. Cross onto sight. Kai staying silent. Now there's only two options, either car or tunnels, and one isolated pick has already gone his way, and he's final at time. This bomb's going to explode, and there's nothing Pepe can do about it.
It's going to be close.
Very close.
He's got it.
What? That is insane. Pepe just in the nick of time getting to that bomb. And Fluxo have to have their faces in their hands right now.
Yeah, it felt like Kai did enough, right? He put on a very good shift. Bought enough time. They didn't hard clear him. He gets a kill. Isolates the 1v1s. They had just about enough time to get that defuse in. And this is looking like 3 maps here, Pavlos. I don't see a world in which Fluxo will get back. It feels like they've gone through a big crash out. It's nowhere near how convincing they were on that first map.
100%.
Bounty Hunters have bounced back in such an impressive fashion.
And now it could become anyone's game, right? Because now we're not seeing Fluxo in the same manner that we were seeing them on Cash. Bounty Hunters have completely stepped up. It's looking like a one-side show. I know it's just the first half, but the advantage is so great. We can't help but feel like this is a write-off.
Even if you get 3 rounds, you need an impeccable CT side. 9-3 is still doable, I guess, if you get the pistol in the conversions, sure, and you get a comfortable start, but they will need
You've made your life
switch
tough
to flip. Yeah. At least LTZ and Davides are looking very crisp. I mean, the rest, I guess Kai has been put in very difficult situations, and he was single-handedly responsible for half their round so far with that 1v1 clutch.
It's more the cause and the cohesion for me, Ted, for Fluxo. I don't think I'm expecting something from individuals. It's more about the game plan and how they are approaching the rounds. And like this time, trying to push the long issue and again falling to the wayside. An incredible half for Bounty Hunters. A massive switch up from that first map. Oh boy, what a turnaround. A slap to the face for Fluxo. Hard to imagine they've got another say-in on a Dust2, and a cider looks imminent. All starts with this pistol. Bounty Hunters secure this, and map 3 is on the way.
Yeah, it's a long way back. Not an easy one, that's for sure. Fluxo. They have to try and take it one step at a time. It all has to start here with a pistol round, and it's LTZ that's going to take first point of contact. That's a good first tap. Does he get more out of this? Blinded, mollied, he's in a very tough spot. It doesn't really look that good, but they still get a 3v3, and the T's have decided to cancel and try and run it back up short. Kai is going to beat him to the chase. They've just slowed it down, though. Not really committing to that short play. Slightly doubting themselves. I'd actually be looking to re-aggro B, but Ponter's leaving, so Looking like the short play more and more. Exit. No information gathered in towards middle. Kai has already tucked in towards Goose. And there goes the bomb. Exit spotted that one out. Kaiser now on the cross. Exit decides to back off in towards that B bomb side, leaving Kai all alone on A. He needs a big play.
He does. Stay silent. Idling Goose. Here they come.
Really hard clear him.
He's got his eyes peeled for long. Indeed, they do. Press the mat up. And Bounty Hunters bomb planted, and from a distance can spot out how those rotations will be coming forwards. The answer will be they're not coming forwards. Stopped in their tracks. Exit just for a formality. Closes up. Gives it the good old college try. Toyed with players peeking left and right. Hunter, what a sequence in this pistol round. Four picks to his name.
He's looked so sharp, Hunter. It's so impressive how much of a recovery he's gone through. He's on 15 and 7. Kaiser's on 12 and 5. These guys are just shooting heads like it's nothing. It was a good opening coming out of LT set. The push in towards lower doesn't work out. Kai, too many angles to be responsible for by himself. And it's already looking like a done deal on Dust2. Bounty Hunters have just turned this one around, and it feels like a nuke is bound to happen. Davideus on the scout. Don't get to see that every day of the weekend. I don't know why I said weekend. Week. We're a little bit cooked already. First tag is there. Repeat doesn't land. 5-7 able to make something happen, but they've burned him to a crisp.
Smells like cooked Davideus on the B site.
Smells like a save.
Indeed. Smells like that point.
That's unwinnable, and I think they know it. And it's not just the round, but the map itself. I don't know what's happened with Fluxo here, but things have really taken a turn on this map. And Bounty Hunters, they just have smiles on their faces. You can't really fault them for it. Kai drops one on the way out. They can try and stick around for some exits, I guess, but it's not really going to change the fact that Bounty Hunters will get 10 opportunities to close this map. How rifles surviving.
Things changed. I think I'm a little bit flabbergasted, Ted, with Fluxo disappearing off the face of the server. Because it's not even a slight misperformance coming in from him. Sure, it's twofold. Sure, his Bounty Hunters also stepping up. We've got a lot of these individuals doing a brilliant job, but you can't help but feel this is a two-way street.
Yeah, it definitely is. Bounty Hunters just looking like a different team. Same for Fluxo, but not in a good way. They will try and stay alive for a little bit longer. Nice opening coming out of exit. Reaction in towards B should come through, though. They might go through the smoke.
Ooh, what? UMP play from LTZ. That just keeps Fluxo alive for a moment more. Flawless. How about that?
It's a bit of a shame, because as I said, LTZ has looked pretty sharp throughout the series, right? It feels like he's the only one that's not really dropped in performance, which is obviously a bit weird considering he's the youngest and least experienced guy on the server for the side of Fluxo. Take a look at that. Close range UMP spray down, triple kill. Makes it a 4-piece with the AK, but yeah. Unfortunately, it's just wishful thinking to feel like Fluxo are going to be able to bring this one back and send us into OT. It looks near impossible. It's more of a matter of when than a matter of if.
That's true.
Bounty Hunters close it out.
I mean, it's 9 chances.
Yeah, it was 10 in total. And it's all about the mental game right now. If Fluxo were able to get a couple of rounds, feel like they've got going into Nuke, especially if they get to start on that CT side, it might be a little bit easier for them to bounce back, but as of right now, it's just been one-sided map after one-sided map and swapping map picks. As we said, both teams are getting a pretty decent veto, getting to play maps that they're usually quite comfortable with. You don't see Fluxo getting dominated on Dust2 that way every day of the week. Dealing with the short pop. Zevi an exit with the first 2 frags. Pepe, nice tap onto Zevi. Hold your horses. I still have an opportunity in this one. Bomb side available. Second player spotted in towards long. Not really taken down. Bomb's gonna go down. Frank doesn't realize how close Davideus has gotten though. And they are trying to hold on, but it's Exit and Kai coming out on top. Exit didn't even realize they've gotten all the kills.
Oh, I can't believe it. But they get the defusing. And again, survive longer. But look at this from Davideus. Being able to sneak so close without being spotted, without being realized. That was the final nail in the coffin for the round. And for their economy of bounty hunters as well. Now drawn back to the pistols.
All right. What are the odds of Fluxo making this comeback happen on the CT side? It has to be perfect Counter-Strike. For such a long time. For so many rounds in a row. And it's been far from it so far. It's just the fact that you can't afford to make a simple mistake. It needs to be pristine. Which, right now they are. Nice cleanup into towards short. Pistol swinging. Not finding anything. LTZ deciding, you know what, I don't want any of the smoke, even if it's just an armorless Glock. Exit. We'll probably get that kill on Punter. So that's going to be all 5 alive. Good stuff coming out of the IGL. Fluxo getting 5 on the board. Now 7 away from potential OT. But this is money back into the bank accounts of the bounty hunters.
Yeah. It's just formalities taking place here. Now it's where it really matters, because if you start adding up more buy rounds, then maybe there's tempo being built up by Fluxo. Maybe a comeback is on the verge. Still very early to call such a thing. Like we're saying, it's a matter of when, rather than if. But it does become a concern if you start losing more and more of these buy rounds. For now, Bounty Hunters heavy reliance towards this B site. They're looking to moving quick.
Yeah, shout out ATK, of course. Click the banner below for the mouse giveaway. Zog, already out on the bomb side. He still gets 2 kills out of thin air, it felt like.
Yeah.
Vibe was that they've allowed the T's to get the bomb side for free, but then they get the kills out of nowhere, and now it's a very difficult situation. Bounty Hunters putting a lot of fate into Punter.
Well, 2 players focused towards the B site itself. 2 have got their eyes set on doors. Zevi's only job is to make sure that no one crosses. But now you'll need to get back on rotate duties. Frag and Ponta both find a couple of frags apiece, but Kaiser has been revealed. A fully telegraphed position means that he has to drop away, and Fluxo live to fight another day.
It feels like we've gone through another one of these switches. It might be a little bit too late for Fluxo to bring it back, but they are trying. from a 12-2 now to a 12-6. And it might start looking a little bit scary as the rounds start ramping up.
Sure.
Now you're up against the hero AWP, surrounded by a couple of upgraded pistols, a hero Galil for Freck as well, so it's not too bad of an investment, but it's not a full buy. So this could be Fluxo moving up to 12-7, and from that point on, you win one more buy round, it's 12-8, you're up against a half buy again, and it doesn't look impossible. Surely there's no way they can't close this. You're going to start feeling a little bit nervous as time goes on if you're on the T side and you're not getting close to picking up a round. You're going to start feeling like nothing's working out. And the CTs are stocked. They've got money for days, so for them the only thing that matters is just getting the round over the line. And they know that Kaiser survived, so they should be aware of the possibility of an OP.
Very slow from Bounty Hunters, but they've gained a lot of control. Silent but deadly. And they are closing in on B, and there's not much assistance for the defenders here. Even though it's a line to buy, it's a dangerous one at that. Information of what the play looks like, and Davidales now helps out in the mid endeavors. 2v3. And Ponta now pushing out through tons, catches an instant headshot and an upgraded weapon. 10 seconds to try and get onto the side and get that planted, but it won't even come down to that because Kaiser doubles up and seals the deal to force off a decider.
Wow. I think I'm speaking for everyone when I say we didn't see that one coming. Bounty Hunters, after how underwhelming Cash looked, that was an incredible up on top of what they were doing. Yeah, we got the confirmation. Fluxo on CT side, so I wonder if they're going to be able to carry on with that momentum that they were starting to build up on that CT side of Dust2. I know it was just a slight resurgence and it was still a 13-6, and it was never really close for them to bring it back, but it felt like some of the individuals were getting going. LTZ had a couple of very good moments, Davideas as well, same for Kai, especially in the clutch. With that being said, we're ready. It's a best of one from here on out. Everything on the line. Loser of this one goes out of the competition. First eliminated team from the StarSeries Season 20 South American Closed Qualifier.
Ooh, exit. First blood. Double kill as well through the smoke. Fully blinded. And through fog. Not too shabby. Kai not having an issue holding down the line on B as Bounty Hunters close in on that B side, but dwindled in numbers now. Just two available to them, Ponta and Kaiser both, but isolated from one another. Hard to imagine they've got a way back in.
That's a bit of a tough one. Bomb dropped on level -1. Ponta had a couple of very crisp moments on Dust2, but he needs to really outdo himself here. He wants to bring this one back, and both him and Kaiser take a bullet. Exit with a triple, Kai with a double. Fluxo back to winning ways for the first time in the lead since map 1. Not even allowing Bounty Hunters to dream about getting a bomb plant with this one. So Fuiko coming up, Fluxo are probably off to a 2-0 start. And we already had a similar scenario with MIBR experiencing some massive issues against a team that they probably should be beating a lot easier earlier against LP, and then moving into Nuke as the third map and starting on the CT side, they were able to make quick work out of them. Hopefully it's not going to be the case for the Bounty Hunters as well, because they've been putting in a very good fight so far.
Very true. Exit Davidales. It looks like they've locked in here, Ted. Yeah, we're looking at just round 2 where Bounty Hunters only had pistols available to them, but Fluxo, there's snappiness to this, there's decisiveness to their actions. Something that surprisingly was missing from Dust2.
Yeah, as we said, it was just the pistol round and the anti-eco, so let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No, let's not. Let's not.
If you want to get ahead of yourselves, you can get hyped up about the Lorgar PCs. Make sure you go and check them out. The
Cool
hype
stuff,
is justified. Never gonna get disappointed. Shout out to everyone that's still sticking around and watching if you're, in fact, European. Because it's already 2 a.m. for everyone in Central Europe, 3 a.m. Eastern Europe. Brazil time is a little bit better, or just South American time in general. A bit more reasonable hours.
Oh, much more reasonable. Hello to the other side of the world. Hope you're enjoying your games.
They used 4 layered smokes, by the way, so they've got just 1 left on Kaiser, and all of this to just send 2 players down secret. So what do you achieve with that? Bomb still went towards the lobby. Might attempt a bit of a vent drop, reunite with your teammates down there, but that would mean that you've just got 1 avenue of attack. So really wondering what the plan is here for the bounty hunters. Even if you're somehow able to send the bomb down the vent, it still won't be an easy affair, and Ponter's looking for contact out A.
Well, this is looking clean for bounty hunters.
Oh,
there is a
hold on.
fight back coming in from LTZ, helping out his Freck. 3v3, but Ponter's aggression forced to the wayside. LTZ is lighting up the kill feed, whether that's with his bullets, whether that's with his assist or mollies. It's the advantage now handed over to Fluxo. Bomb down on the A side.
He knows the round is over. 50 seconds. He's not even trying to go for the sprint here, Kaiser. They get completely shut down by LTZ, and this is a bit of a blunder. They're going to be feeling so hard done by this. The entries were perfect out of Ponter and Frag. They get a 5v3 instantaneously, and then LTZ just flying down like a fallen angel from the top of HUD. Shutting both players down with the MP9, upgrading to the AK, pushing in towards lobby, dropping the 3rd guy in towards HUD. He just keeps it going, man. I've been so impressed by this guy.
Sure.
Youngest guy on the team as well, and he's been the most consistent. 21 years of age. He used to play on Unimille for Magic, Be Bold. Teams that a lot of you might not even have heard of. Joined this team in May of 2026, and he's been so serviceable.
Bit of a disruption here for bounty hunters. Would have been a perfect place to get things going, but now limited to the single AK onto Kaiser. He's chipped away at 81 points of health now. But a group up now heading towards this ramp side. 3 players bunch up. Likely to become 4 imminently. And Kai will be the only one responsible of receiving them as Zevi closes in on location 2. Kai's good enough for the spray, gets 2, and an AK can be picked up now. Can this consortium of 3 players make it work?
Player spotted in towards Mini. That's Zog's position compromised. Kaiser's got that AK picked up. Kai still doing God's work with that double kill, considering he was all alone against the pistols.
Sure. Kai's been doing God's work for the past couple of maps, full stop. But now it'll be a little bit more difficult to perform at this deficit. Still important he can be relevant even on an eco buy. Kaiser alone, losing Zevi. Put them in a very tough spot. A couple of kits available here for the Fluxo side. They've got no information. Nice pick. FedEx has got his backline covered, and with that, Fluxo guarantee a 4th.
Yeah, Zevi's not got a defuse kit, but I think he's going to get plenty of time to get that defuse in. That's a great hold out of Kai. I know they approached the situation. They took care of the player in towards Mini first, and then approached it in a 4v2 in a very patient way, but it all comes down to the fact that Kai is able to get a double, right? If he gets just the 1 and gets refragged, that's a 4v4 with a picked up rifle. It's a completely different round. If he doesn't get a single kill, then it's a very, very bad situation. Defuses the tension in a very good way, Kai. 4-0 up. Fluxo. Not looking too shabby. No whatsoever. Deep smoke deployed. A lot of deep smokes deployed, actually. They've denied outside presence. Deep smoke in towards trophy room as well out of Kai. So the T's feeling a little bit claustrophobic with this one. Not really a lot of space to work with. And that's a good nade out of Kai.
Trying to make Bounty Hunters feel a little bit unstable. A bit above, you know, a bit below water.
I think they've realized no one's crossing out. There goes the flash. Exit good with the kill. Eyes on ramp.
Push coming in from ramp after the first one out on A. Zevi happy to get the one and making sure we're not getting affected by the flames, and a fast follow-up coming in from Bounty Hunters into B site, but Exit still has to be dealt with.
Bomb spotted. Exit's got the information.
He's going to call for reinforcements. And indeed, Davideus promptly arriving. Bomb going down. Molly acting as a hindrance, but still successful in punching down the digits. Finding one, makes it a possibility. Ponta with another, and now in with a real chance. LTZ having one fight. Ponta, the other.
Oh.
Quick scope, switches to the AK. Now knows where he needs to look for Zok. Throws down a nade, softens up his opposition. Flash is good. Zevi looks back, plays it aggressive, but Zok still comes out on top. Bounty Hunters with their introduction off the back of Zok's triple kill and clutch.
What a 1v1 that is out of Zok. He was in such a tough spot. There was plenty of time for Zevi. Nate right on top of him, taps the bomb, runs him down. Already low on HP, opening kill going in favor of Exit, and good work coming out of the AWP. That was a 4v2 that they're able to convert. Lovely pickups. Zevi put in such a good shift. But look at that, 1 HP to spare. Zevi even got the connection, just couldn't get the kill. And Bounty Hunters finally getting around on the board here on the T side. Fluxo not going to be able to run away with a very comfortable start on the CT side. It's still not out of the question whether Fluxo can get a bigger lead, but they'll definitely have to work for it. Clutches like these could turn everything around, even from a mental point of view, but Zevi's looking good at the start of the map. Money not really running too low, but LTZ is going to be playing that UMP. Not that it's been an issue for him. He's been a master of the SMG so far throughout the series. We still remember that massive 4-piece that he had on Dust2 with the triple spray down with the UMP on B. Of course, the game was already over by then, but still a cool play.
Very true. Oh, that was a mean way for Bounty Hunters. Went down to the table. Have a seat. Okay, that's some information for Exit. A couple of players lingering around.
They're not sending anyone down B, though. I don't think they believe this is going to be such a cross. Exit has definitely heard a step now. And the flash. So the rotations have happened.
Yeah.
Davides is toying around with the idea of going down the vent, but he's gone back up.
So we'll just be down to Kai. It ends up being a B play.
Exit's got a good position to deal with Ponter. You deal with him, you get the kill into the lobby player. It's still a doable retake on B.
Tucked in the corner. More down to patience. I want to get overzealous here. Indeed. Exit waiting an extra second to see if the second one will appear on the screen, but no, that was not the case. And Zevi fully prepared for Pepe's cross. Oh, denying the bomb plant.
That's
so
it.
that is it. That's done. And it could have been without casualties if Zevi kept himself alive there, but nevertheless, an important round for Fluxo to win, especially provided they've got 4 players surviving at the end.
Freck and Kaiser, I mean, there's nothing you can do about this. That was a great shutdown out of Fluxo. It felt like the main play came in a little bit too early, and Exit was just so patient with it. Waited for his time to strike. Zevi was already rotated down in towards the ramp, able to catch the bomb. on its way crossing to the bomb side, and you even had that second rotation of a rifle down in towards the double doors. Fluxo back to winning ways. Again, making it look pretty comfortable. Bar that one round. It's an important response mentally as well for Bounty Hunters. They finally got a round over the board, and then they get completely shut down in the subsequent. It reminds them that Fluxo's got things under lock and key for now.
Whew.
Nice shot.
Counter back from Zoxo. Exit. No longer the terror.
I was just walking through.
Again, being the target. There is a response in from Fluxo.
Zevi's ready.
So is Kai. One successful. LPC there to support. Distraction available. Low HP bars. But Kai having absolutely no interest in pursuing Ponta here, knowing that this is Fluxo's round to lose.
They just look so much more careful than what they were on Dust2, right? Not taking unnecessary risks, everyone playing on the contact of their teammates, being very, very patient. And Davideus will shut down Ponter. Fluxo showing their true colors once again on the CT side of Nuke. 6 rounds deep. And there's no money for the T side as well. They're in a bit of a tough spot. We've not seen an A hit straight out the bat for Bounty Hunters. And now that you're down to the pistols and a bit of a half buy, it might be worth exploring that possibility. We've seen them attempt the ramp a couple of times, toy around with the outside smokes. Not really trying to get down and dirty and towards A though, testing these A side protocols. And this might be a good round for it. Pepe's got a single Molotov, a bunch of flashes, 2 smokes as well.
So,
Look
early
at
pick coming in from Fluxo as well. Yeah. He's got a timing onto Zevi. In effect, it's not careful. The whole site is in jeopardy. LTZ to save the day, though. Freck trying to find some extra damage, and the fact that his opponent's running out of bullets does help to his case. Bomb to go down in a very unlikely scenario, but instead Davideus denies it. Substantial damage, but this round count for the CTs is starting to grow.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird out of Flux. So that was a bit of a moment of miscom because Zevi didn't really look aware of the possibility of someone just walking out of trophy through ramp and coming in behind him. So that was a bit of a scrappy moment. Thankfully, they had a second player up heaven. So they did have a rifle to salvage the day. Saved them. And this is what I like calling the point of no return. This is the line for Fluxo. We get an 8-1 lead. That would lead to a potential 9-1. This could be the game done, decided in just the first half of play. If the Bounty Hunters get this round, they still have an opportunity to put up a pretty decent T side. You get 4 or 5 rounds, you're still basically in the fight. There goes another opening out of Zevi. He's been so mobile with that AWP.
It's been brilliant. One of the reasons why, Cash has been such a strong one for Zevi for Fluxo together. Davideus a little bit too deep there.
It's a good off angle. I'm actually more pleasantly surprised by the fact that Ponter Hart clears him like this.
Fair.
It shows good awareness of how much of the map they had left over to Fluxo for the first 55 seconds of the round.
Fairly cautious. Our Bounty Hunters. Instead of going into secret and B, they're heading in towards the A site. Zevi waiting, but flashed out means that, and with no contact, Bounty Hunters are going the long way around. Hey, pig.
Zevi's got a free kill.
Hey, this Ponta turns around on time. And surely that must be an opening for this A site exit. Does he realize how close his opponents are? right beneath them, surprised, falling right on top of their bodies. This should be a simple site takeover. It doesn't even come down to the bomb plant.
I'm surprised that he tried to go down the ladder when there was, what, 12 seconds left? If they're planting B, you're not going to be able to get there in time. If they're trying to wrap up heaven, you've got a power position to secure the round. That was a great one out of Punter, though. Just going down the ladder, getting a multi-kill. That's the one that's a little bit weird out of exit. Especially with Kai being down the vent. He was near that B bomb site and he couldn't hear a thing. So exit should have been aware of the possibility. I feel like he might have gotten caught in the sauce a little bit, and that's why we were saying this previous round was so important. Look at the money on the CT side.
Yes, looking bleak. Not impossible to gain much damage, but not making their lives easy, limited to just a couple of MP9s. Fairly laid back here. Fluxo are line. Bounty Hunters take a lot of space for free. Smoke breakaway, and Xavi Spray may have just saved the day. Needs to be careful not to give his life away, though, as that could give Bounty Hunters the jump back they need.
Are they calling this one off? I think that's a save.
Really?
Yeah, they themselves don't have a lot of money. They've just lost 2 guns, or 2 players, to nothing, right? Just to spam through the smoke. They've not gained anything in exchange. They don't have an advanced position in towards the ramp, in towards outside. Nothing really to work with, so it feels like the right decision. And they still have such a decent amount of util left. You throw away these rifles in the AWP, you're going to be scrapping. Or scraping, sorry, for cash going into the next one. So it's not a bad call, but it's definitely one that is going to be making Fluxo quite happy. They get to keep all 5 of their guns. Zevi's probably going to get an upgrade in towards outside, maybe throw it to one of his teammates. There goes LTZ. Going to pick up that AK-47. Rifles recovered. CT's just running around trying to get as many gun upgrades as possible, but Bounty Hunters just calling it away. 5 rifles carried on into the next round. 2 AKs as well. Zevi's not going to be rocking that AWP, but it doesn't really feel like he needs it right now. That was a very convincing round. Basically, just a double kill through a smoke that leads to it. And the Bounty Hunter is going through another knockdown. If that was a boxing fight, they've gone through a bunch of them already on Nuke. Kind of feels like they're just sat there on the ropes ready for the knockout.
Frag. Nice entry onto LTZ.
That's much more like it.
Very much needing moments like this. Ooh, exit getting caught as well. Sure, the HE is thrown, but a little bit delayed. Only hits the healthier of the players. Zoc, Freck getting away with quite a bit. Davidel's needing a bit of magic, some special dust. But nothing of the like coming to fruition. Bounty Hunters taking over this round.
They're very low on money on the CT side, regardless of the lead, so it might be the right decision for him to just call this one off, run back to his spawn, tail between his legs. He's still sticking around. Even if the bomb explodes, he's going to be safe if it's a B plant. And if it's A, he's going to have an opportunity. They're being very cautious. They want to find him. They want to make sure they know what's going on.
The players are just spread out everywhere. Making sure that no funny shenanigans are going around for Kai, and don't really give him an opportunity to save all that much either. Might be a bit of a 1v1 to be played out before the final whistle of this round. But no, that confrontation is missed. But a third TED here for Bounty Hunters does keep them in the conversation for the game. After all, CT-sided Nuke.
If they get 4 rounds here, this game is on. Right, Fluxo have looked very good. But anything less than a 9-3 is probably going to be considered a bit of a failure on their end, considering how comfortable the start was.
Sure.
8-4, you lose the pistol round, it's game on. And I think they know it. This final round of the first half is very important for them. If you want to just run away with this map, no contest, no real nerves involved, you need that number 9 and the pistol. Then it could be a very swift finish. But suddenly if Bounty Hunters are able to fight back, well, then it could be a bit of a different story.
Fluxo, no over-aggression coming in from them just yet. Bounty Hunters spreading their wings wide. As the first set of outside smokes are being lobbed over. Tough last buy round for Fluxo. LTZ on a 5-7. It's exit to get first blood through the smoke.
Kai's gonna get tested. Another big moment coming in towards the ramp. He's all alone. Zevi was starting to rotate away. Now he's volleyed down. Kai needs another big multi-kill, and he's got it! Kai with the triple out of nowhere. Frozen-esque. To try and send Bounty Hunters packing. And that might be
That's
enough.
massive.
He's been impeccable in towards the ramp.
And it's a great moment for it as well. You're just going to have to allow Bounty Hunters to settle in this mud on the halftime timeout. What a brilliant sequence. And with that, a 9th round guaranteed for Fluxo at halftime. A tremendous start of Nuke. And it looks like rejuvenation capabilities exist on both sides of the server today. And the second half of the final map between Fluxo and Bounty Hunters can begin. A 9-3 lead set from that CT side from Fluxo. And Bounty Hunters need to get a foothold of the CT side as fast as damn possible to get back in the series.
Impactful pistol round. Smoking towards the vent. Taps coming out of the USP, connecting onto just one hit onto Davide. So the vent drop should happen pretty flawlessly. All 3 players going down exit. Has found that opening kill. That was Kaiser pushing in towards the lobby in the meantime. Gets punished. Freck is already down, but there's nothing he can do about preventing that bomb to go down.
It's thinking forwards from Fluxo. Knowing where the rotation will be coming through, knowing how you need to be set up to keep them busy. This allowed them from freely maneuvering onto the site. Exit's done well. Now the rest of the squad needs to pick up the pieces. Fast play here coming up from Bounty Hunters. LTZ surviving through it all and stepping further back, assisted by Davideus to close this one out. Smooth sailing, round number 1 of the second half for Fluxo.
They've kind of clocked out. Freg just turned around. He heard the drop of his own teammate, but he was so locked in that he fired a bullet. Bounty Hunters are shooting each other, which is never a good sign in a game of Counter-Strike. Definitely not. And now you're putting all your eggs into one basket, forced by double-D, double 5-7, singular scout in the hands of Kaiser. This is for all the marbles. Break of the smoke doesn't reveal anything. LTZ patiently waits his moment, able to make the cross. Not sure if they spotted him out. They've got a third HE. Now they've seen people. Now they've seen the bomb as well, and Zevi gets dropped.
This is a big tag coming in. LTZ down to 65 points of health. Davideus also chucked down with the scout. Massive performances coming from Kaiser. The headshot lands too. Hero rifle in the game for Bounty Hunters. They may have another lifeline.
Look at Kai. He got spotted. He knows where Kaiser is, though, and he's got a USB in hand. Kai's not looking. He was not ready. He didn't realize that Kaiser's seen him. And Fluxo with a golden opportunity to run away with a 12-3 lead on the back of an anti-force and an anti-eco. Are falling down to the wayside. 40 seconds. LTZ and exit. A 2 versus 5 needed. 35 seconds left. First kill is there, but HP is so low on LTZ. Exit needs a big play here.
Yeah, a miracle, to be fair, and a massive misstep from Bounty Hunters. They've got this one under control with players lurking in every single corner. Exit, trying to create space. Zok gets cleared out quickly. You should expect someone up in ramp, and Freck now reveals himself. This is becoming fathomable. The smokes have given Fluxo a lot of space, but Ponto appearing from behind has made this difficult. LTZ.
That's actually helped him.
Around.
He can now spam the smoke. He knows they don't have a defuse kit. They cannot find the bomb.
Oh dear.
The spam's gonna come through. He might be low, but they can't really push him through. Freck will do that. And I think they have enough time to get that 10-second defuse. That got a little bit hairy for a second. The smoke on the bomb was actually in his favor.
That did get hairy. That did get close. But then again, Bounty Hunters are able to keep themselves in. When you thought you can count them out, right? You lose the pistol being 9-3 down, but you scrap your way back in. And again, it's Kaiser doing a lot of that heavy lifting, right? Getting a lot of shots across, scout work from afar, picks, damage. And yeah, Fluxo somehow are able to keep it close, which is a testament to their quality. But this game seems like it's far from over. Bounty Hunters show intent that they can take over the CT side.
It's an interesting decision, by the way. They got a bomb plant and a bunch of kills. They've decided to force back. I was going to say the bomb plant in that 2v5 and 3 kills allowed them to go for an eco round and actually have a full-on buy in the next. Looks like I want to end this as quickly as possible. Oh my god. All right,
now this would be a turn of events.
You have anything else for us? That's a good start.
HE doesn't quite land. Smoke as well, slightly deep, provides an area in which you can look into. Pepe have revealed himself. He needs to delay this approach for his teammates to arrive. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome, though. Fluxo on the chase. Forced back by the molly, but they've created enough room for the bomb to go down.
And they've got the pistols close range. And another rifle picked up by Zevi. This is dangerous.
Again, HE, potential for a lot more than it does receive.
Oh, God.
And the Tech Nines are singing. It's an absolute symphony. Zark and Kaiser are lost for words as Fluxo do what Bounty Hunters did a second ago. A less than likely buy, taking over a round, and this one is dominant.
They've taken all the guns away. I mean, it's just Kaiser left with the AK. If he goes down, they've got nothing. I don't think they'll be able to find him, though, so he should be safe. But this is still such a big play out of Davideus. Is that opening kill in towards the round that creates all the chaos? I know it's exit with a big double in towards Decon as well. That makes the difference, but look at that shot from Davideus again. A straight up pre-fire. That's why you don't play such a static angle in this game when you know they've gone for a force in the air, likely to have a hero rifle. It's just such a pre-fireable position. Davideus, I mean, take nothing away. That was a great shot. Now you're the ones working with 1 AK and 4 pistols. Fluxo might be able to run away with it after all.
Big nade. Doesn't matter though. Davideus continues with that pace. Upgraded his gun. Doesn't mind that one bit.
Still can't get their hands on the AK though, and that's the big loss. Even though they get the refrag, they're stuck with the pistols.
What's the plan here for Fluxo? Looks like they're reposturing for a potential A hit. Minute mark. No real legway has been made by Fluxo to gain space.
Just gotta stick together. Util's coming in. The CTs don't really have a lot to try and counteract. Pepe's already burning.
Ooh. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Turns into cold, essentially. And it's a swift takeover from Fluxo, one after the other. They'll walk onto the site and claim names. Map and series point for Fluxo. Bounty Hunters on the verge of elimination.
And unfortunately, it's just a repetition of the previous series as well. The moment that it gets to a new third map and the favorite gets to start on the CT side, it's just a whitewash. And LTZ, if we had an MVP award for this map, and for this series in general, it would be him. I know Exit's had a great performance on Nuke as well, but the 21-year-old has been the only constant, it feels like, on the side of Fluxo. Enormous amounts of impact.
Bounty Hunters.
Oh. Are we getting a reset?
I think there's going to be a restart. Yeah, there's
but Pepe's been tagged.
Off.
Can we have the reset? I think we are. Huh.
Looks like there's a consistency here. So, indeed, restart will come through. So it seems like some players facing some technical difficulties.
You know what, Pavlos? Let's play a game with chat here. Because we're, I think, around 3,000 people. And for me and you, it's 4 in the morning. For people in Europe, it's 3 in the morning. Where are you guys watching from? Let us know in chat. We're gonna see it.
What would be the most outrageous answer? I feel like if you're in Americas, makes sense.
Asia.
Fair enough. It's your time zone.
Asia, because it's like
focus
7 in the morning.
That's not too bad. Waking up with a bit of Counter-Strike, why not?
Sure. That's fair.
Pepe. Being taken care of with flames. Fluxo closing in on the final kill, the coup de grace. They've been tested this series more than I think they expected, especially on Dust2. But let's see if they can have a swift end here. This is a great HE thrown as well. Although Kai is able to avoid most of it, being tagged down by the scout is a dangerous affair, especially when the rest of the Bounty Hunter squad have got deagles to work with. Look at Zoc on the back line. No one's looking.
Ooh. Exit turns around. That might be it. That might be the final nail in the coffin. Down goes Kaiser. And down go the hopes of Bounty Hunters to stay alive in the event. It was a valiant effort, it really was. Yesterday against LP, that was a winnable game. This one felt winnable after the comeback on Dust2, but Nuke was anything but competitive. And it's just Ponter, one of the crispest players on this team, especially on that second map, but this is a little bit too much to ask from him. Kai puts him down. It is 13-4. Fluxo sent Bounty Hunters back in, and they stay alive in the tournament. Not an easy way to stay alive, but still efficient enough.
Yeah, they get the job done, right, importantly, and Bounty Hunters are the first